Good morning, everyone. It's 9 o'clock, September the 8th, 2025, and I'll call our second budget hearing to order. First item is a roll call by our county clerk, Mary Jane Zapata.
Good morning, Judge,
Mary Jane.
Commissioners. Judge Raffel.
Present.
Commissioner Moya.
Present.
Commissioner Morales.
Present.
Commissioner Solis.
Present.
Commissioner Garza.
Present.
We have a quorum, Judge.
Thank you, Mary Jane. Next item is our invocation by Pastor Roger Miller, Commissioner Court Chaplain. Dr. Miller, good to see you.
Good morning. Good morning. If you bow your heads with me this morning as we lead in prayer. Our Father who provides rest, we come into your presence this day with the desire and the need to quiet our hearts and our minds and reorient ourselves toward you as we prepare for the work before this court. Grant us, Father, the ability to turn down the volume and the disturbances of the immediate so we may see the future. May your guidance speak today to our leaders as you have spoken in the past. May our leaders be receptive to your voice this day as they seek to serve this community in the difficult situations and decisions that lie ahead. Father, may they must make today those decisions which prepare for our future. May wisdom be granted to them, may patience be theirs in abundance, and may peace come from their efforts to honor you. We thank you for your hand, which both leads and protects, and in Christ's name we humbly ask these things. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Commissioner, as mentioned, we held our first budget hearing for the proposed 2025-2026 budget, Zapata County budget, on August the 22nd. This will be the second hearing regarding the budget. There were some requests made in that initial budget hearing, and those have been tabulated, and we will be voting those in our regular session, action session. The secondary hearing allows the public and department heads to bring in any other changes they might want the court to consider for the upcoming budget. I'd like to begin with anybody in the public wishes to address the court on the budget at this time. If not,
Judge, I believe that there's a, good morning.
Hey, Judge, good to see you.
That there's a list of people who wanted to.
I'm not sure. Yes.
I thought I saw a
That
list.
they might be all department heads.
I wrote down my name, so I don't know.
Okay, well, then you'd be.
Well, I just want to go by the order of whoever wrote their names down.
Okay.
The field attendance.
Oh, is it attendant? Is that what it is?
I-
I'm not familiar, Judge, I'm not familiar with your procedures, so I
Well,
don't know
so basically, Judge, it's an informal process. We allow the public an opportunity to come forward. Certainly, you're welcome to step forward, Judge. Usually it's department heads, but you're a department head, so certainly
Well, let me start it off.
you can start it off for us.
Me da mucha pena, pero.
No. Yeah, these are basically, yeah, they're just attendants. Judge, good morning, good to see you.
Good morning, everyone, as you all know, I tend to stay away from these proceedings. I normally don't get, for many reasons, get involved in the county business. It's something that I leave to the able hands of the Commissioners Court, whether it be this court or other administrations that have been here since I've been here. And I like to usually keep it that way, and I normally do have conversations with the budget officer at the time. Normally it's Judge Rathmel, and who has been the budget officer for the last few years. And I go by basically what is the proposed agenda, the proposed budget that is filed, and that's what I assume is going to be the starting point of what is filed. The proposed agenda is the judge's agenda. The proposed budget is the judge's budget, and then the Commissioners Court obviously gets to chime in on all that, and after hearing from department heads and the public and whatnot. And I understand that the proposed budget is pretty much kept everything más o menos the way we had all been operating under. And I understand also from the last hearing that there is some concerns about being able to meet your balancing the budget if everything stays that way. And as a result of that there is some rumblings, some and and weedy, like they say down here, that in fact there are gonna be some cuts to positions.
And there were some cuts, I'm not sure if there were some cuts in my proposed budget, those positions that were a part of the initial Operation Lone Star grant administration part of it. Since that of course went away, of course, the court administration section of it went away. So there were some, unfortunately, some cuts to the force in my proposed budget.
Okay. So, I understand that there's a list out there that I'm not aware of, but a list out there of that someone put together that says, we're gonna be proposing to cut 17 or 18 positions. And one of the positions that proposed to be cut is one of the slots that is in my, department. I understand that there's also one district clerks, county clerks,
Yes.
JPs and, all over the place. I don't know, is it also include the shop, it's all included everyone, I have no idea. But I know that there's rumblings about that, and, one of the things that I urge this Commissioners Court to do, and maybe this is what this process is all about, and the working about, I guess, is because they have this list that's out there, and I'm not sure who again produced it, has the names of the individuals. And normally you do with slot numbers, these are recommendations of these slot numbers or whatnot, or maybe you talk to each department head and say, hey, we're gonna have to cut into these slots, tell me which position you need the least. You're the one that's in the trenches, you're the one that knows exactly what's needed and what's not needed, or what's least needed. I know that we went through a budget cut like that, when I was the county attorney here, I can't remember what year it was, back in the late 90s perhaps, and that's the way basically every department head was told, cut one, give me one. And basically, and back then it was two. So, it ended up going like that. So in any event, I also want you all to be aware that in certain departments, there's the statutory requirement that is, or statutory rights that are given to the department heads, like the district court, with regard to the placement and having a particular position. For example, in mine, and I can give you all, I can send it to you all later on today, so I now just found out that in fact this was not the actual budget hearing, it was actually just a discussion with regard to what may be needed, so that you can get ready to vote on those type of things as at the actual adoption of the budget, when that's gonna be later on. But anyway, I can send that to you all, so I'll know, from my perspective, you all need to know that under Chapter 54 of the Local Government Code, the position of bailiff, in fact, is discretionary upon the district court and not the Commissioners Court. The position of coordinator is also discretionary upon the district court and not the Commissioners Court. Little things like that I'm gonna send over to you all to make sure that you have enough to read, and so you don't know I'm not coming out from one side or another, but just basically let you know that if you all talk to me about things, I may be able to work with you all with regard to that, and that way I can also know what's going on and know exactly what I need to be able to just sort of settle down on and not have to force any type of statutory requirements to the Commissioners Court that I don't have to, because it would be discretionary upon me to do so at that time. So I appreciate the time. If y'all have any questions?
Very well, Judge, that list, there was a motion, a request made at the first hearing, to make sure that we can eliminate our deficit, and see what ways we could do that. And one of the proposals was to, especially, and we're talking about the general fund, road and bridge, the other funds, and the waterworks seem to be, waterworks of course is an enterprise fund, they're operating on their own, and they seem to be balancing their budget with the revenues that they are bringing in. Road and bridge, with the tax rate that we currently have, they're able to operate that fund. General fund is in not so good shape, and one of the ways we thought that we could bring our expenses in line with revenues was to eliminate one position from every department in the general fund. So that is what, we put the list together.
And so I'm assuming that your proposed budget then did not contemplate a budget balance?
It was a
balanced budget.
$300,000 deficit, but in the $321,000 to be exact. And that was bringing it down from 2 years ago at 900,000 down to 600,000. So we've been working our way down. So, but
So
in
your
the first.
your proposed budget, I'm sorry, had a $300,000 deficit, and these savings here.
Well, no, well, but in addition, that first, hearing, we had, requests of equipment, vital pieces of equipment that are required by different departments. Road and Bridge, Fire Department, the environmental departments, which totaled about 391,000.
But
In addition,
But the road and bridge would come from road and bridge.
yes, but,
So we don't mention that.
right, but 391,000 in additional expenses. So now we're looking at a $700,000 deficit, not a $300,000 deficit. So how do we arrive? And of course, we have a fund balance that continues to dwindle, to go down. So can we sustain this level of spending, with, our tax revenues going down every year? It's not sustainable. And that's why your, department was included also, Judge. Now, if those statutory requirements are
I'll send them
in
over.
place, then you have other budget line items that are pretty healthy that you may have to contribute to. That,
Yeah, no, and again, when we come to line items that we have, as you know, Judge,
Yeah.
it's basically, attorney fees. And attorney fees, you really, whether or not you wanna pay them or not, they're gonna have to get paid. People have to get represented.
well,
and-
but there's a limit, Judge. We don't have the money.
I
We don't have
understand
the money.
that, but those are the type of things that you talk, that are constitutional rather than statutory at this
Yes.
time, right?
Well,
So everybody
I know
deserves-
the constitutional, the county auditor, yeah, we do have to, abide by your order, and we certainly, he's not part of.
No, that's statutory.
Okay, so,
Yeah.
okay, so whatever, I think the Commissioners Court, if we can't, are not able to fund your request, then you're gonna have to be able to work with us. You have bailiffs in Laredo, don't you? That
Yeah.
accompany you on your trips?
Not today, no, the bailiffs and the radar are paid by Webb County.
But they accompany you down here,
Not always, sir.
but it's possible.
Well, you'd have to talk to the Commissioners Court to see if it's possible.
Well, they come with you,
From time to time, yes.
So I guess it's okay with the county commissioner?
Again, I'll have this discussion to you, I don't mind having this discussion with you here, but I know there's a lot of people who wanna talk to you all. But, I can talk to you about statutory requirements, I'm sure that you wouldn't like it if one of your employees went to go work for me in Webb County, and I'm not trying to get that done as well. So, I'm not trying to have the discussion with you here today.
Yeah.
In front of everyone else, I'd be happy to have that with you, in another location if you'd like.
Well, the
Anyone
thing
of you-
is, we have to have it today, because we're gonna approve the budget today.
Well, I thought you said that the budget was gonna be approved at some other time.
Well, in
I
the meeting,
I don't have an agenda.
yes, it's on the agenda for today.
I just asked for an agenda from Roxy, and she said, no,
So-
today's only
so-
a work,
So that's why that discussion has to be held today, because we're gonna approve it, so.
well, then, as a result, does anybody have an agenda out here?
Yes.
You all do have an agenda?
So this is our second budget hearing, and then the action item. Of course, your auditor, which you work closely, should have provided you with an agenda.
Yes, sir. No, I just got here, I didn't get to talk to
All
you
right.
before I got here.
Okay, so do you have an agenda for it?
We have an agenda for the budget
Well,
hearing.
you might wanna discuss that with him, Judge, and then, once the action item comes back, we'll see what we can do.
Okay, well, just in case you do, in fact, what I'll do right now is I'll send you the statutory, references that I'm citing to you, so that you can have, be aware of that, and I'm not taking them out of the air. I can tell you that the exact same discussion we've had with the Commissioners Court.
Is that position open right now?
Yes, sir.
It's vacant position.
No, it's a position, it's not a vacant position.
Is there a leave of absence for that employee?
The employee.
Debated.
The employee is contemplating, another job, and while he contemplates, I believe he's still under annual leave and all sorts of other stuff that he has.
So we're still paying for him, yes.
Well, because you owe, well,
So-
yeah, the
yes,
position's
okay.
still
But
open.
did he resign or not resign? So how does that annual leave work? I don't know, I'm just, I know he's not here,
Well, today, he's not here.
yes. I think we need to sit down, and we should have sat down and talked about whether he is an employee of the county or he's gonna
He
be
is
an employee
absolutely-
of another county?
He's an employee of this county, you're still paying him because you still owe him money for annual leave. and
But he's
what-
working elsewhere.
I don't know if he's working elsewhere today, but he definitely is contemplating another employment, sir.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right.
And just for the record, we are in the budget hearing right now, correct, Judge?
Yes.
So, yeah, we're not in the
We're not in the agenda,
Yeah.
the actual meeting.
the actual meeting.
The actual meeting starts when?
9:15,
Right here.
right after the budget hearing.
Thank you.
It says running. All right, thank you, Judge. Any other department heads?
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners.
Good morning.
Delia Mendoza, Tax Assessor Collector, for the record. Depending on what happens as far as those positions, whether they're gonna get eliminated or not, I just wanted to come by. I know that, the attorney, Lime Gardner's, attorneys came by a couple of weeks ago and they did the presentation on the monies that they received. I know they didn't give much credit to our office, which was what they told me they were gonna do, but they didn't. My office has 5 employees and 1 elected official. Okay, the staff in the tax office collects for taxes, motor vehicle, liquor licenses, voter registration. And that's only with 5 employees. I just wanted to mention that we collected from October the 1st of 2024 through August of 2025, we collected $10,660,823.74. That was the county portion of the taxes for, general fund, farm to market, road and bridge, and the bond. Motor vehicle, we collected $378,051.41. And then all the other work that we do. Voter registration, right now there's, a lot of stuff that's going on. We need equipment and we're not gonna be able to get it. But we're doing it. We're doing it, and I hope that my position does not get eliminated. Just for the record, my last employee that was hired is on a salary of $20,000 plus benefits. Let's say that it's $37,000. So what you're gonna be taking away from my budget is only $17,000. Half of it is paid by the school.
So the other 17, yes.
The county pays only for $17,000.
Yes, I'm well aware of that.
Yes, well, but maybe they don't.
Okay.
But, like I said, this is just for the record, and, we'll see what happens.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other
I
department
know
head?
I spoke the last time.
You can approach Judge, yes. I mean, I appreciate what every department head is going through. We're all having, so last night, I said, did I sleep last night? No, I didn't. It's a very difficult process, but the reality is, we've been going down this road for many years now, and it's like, all right, so do we wait till we run out of all our money and say, well, okay, now let's do something? And we have an emergency expense, and we can't afford it. So it's a very difficult process.
And also, Judge, sorry to interrupt, but after speaking with, Mr. Arturo Gonzalez this morning, we did learn that we do have, we're actually down to $2.8 million in the fund balance that we can't touch. So the judge just mentioned, are we gonna, as we mentioned last time, are we gonna wait next year, 2 years, keep continuing to take away money from that fund balance? right? Is that correct, Mr. Gonzalez? Do we,
Yes, sir.
are we down to
There may be about $4 million, but
That we
we
can't
And
touch.
CDs is 2.8, but there's other funds where I was looking at it's higher than 2.8, but in CDs that we have left is
That
pretty
we
much
can touch
2.8.
today?
Today, yes.
Yeah, you're right.
So we have more than the 2 point whatever.
Yes,
Right,
well,
so
it's
we
another
have-
fund in checking funds and things like that and payroll.
More or less.
But
No.
from CDs that we can fall back on, it's about 2.8.
You know, that's the only scary part that we do have, right? That, you know, when, until when are we gonna continue to deplete and remove, money from our fund balance till we stay broke? And then, you know, what do we do? So we have a tough decision today. You know, I know your department does well, as Ms. Delia Mendoza mentioned hers as well. Everybody, you know, every department does their job. But we do have, also have a job out here to, I
Well,
think.
before we start, well, good morning, Judge and
Good morning.
Commissioners.
I'm sorry for interrupting. I interrupted you.
That's okay. So, like I said, I understand, I sat there for 8 years, so I understand
for understanding.
what we're all going through. Because it's not just the commissioners, it's all the departments, especially those that might lose their position. So I understand what you guys are going through. We understand what all of us are going through, but I just have to stand
Yes,
here.
of course.
And just to let you all know, like I did the last time, that if you all were to decide, well, like I said again, my respects, to leave, not like the Judge Lopez was saying, not a slot, not a name, but the slot, right? My
course.
clerk. I know Zapata is used to having, since, I took office, having the office open in Zapata. So it's not benefiting only me or precinct 2, it benefits the whole community of Zapata because they do come into the office and make payments. Should we say, okay, well, let's close the one in San Ignacio, bring it to Zapata? Well, no, because it's been open for a long time. Do I spend time in the office? Yes, I do. I spend like maybe 4 or 5 hours in my office. I try to spend a few hours here and, you know, from 1 to 5 in San Ignacio. Like today at 11, we're having port here in Zapata. So we do have ports here in Zapata. And if we were to keep the slot of the clerk part-time, it's maybe like 9,000 and some. And we make like 10,000 every month. But again, I know that the money's tight, but I just had to come in kind of like explain to my constituents, which are your constituents as well, that I would want to have the Zapata office open, but if we can't, well, it's understandable, but I'm just here to, you know, to please.
Thank you for understanding, Judge.
Thank you.
And we'll talk about some numbers, right, that were presented, last meeting. So we mentioned we're 325,000, you know, as a proposed budget. But we did have some requests. We're talking about election equipment, and that's that we're going after, a leasing program. So that'll add 40,000, is that correct?
Yes.
Per year. We're looking at, software, that's $10,000. We're looking at fire, department tanker, for the fire department, right? That's 36,000. So we have all these requests that are very important to the county. So you add that, that's 391,000. So do the math, 391,000 plus the 325,
Yeah.
or 321, I'm sorry. So that's how much we're gonna lose this coming year, if no other expenses come in. As we know, every year we have 2, 3, 4 AC units going out, the community centers, the one in San Ignacio, the pavilion, right? The water department, you know, if we don't have any extra expenses, we're looking at about $700,000, $750,000. Deduct that from 2.8 million, so we're down to 2 million. I mean, look, guys, look at the position that we're in right now, so it's, you know, it's very hard. I mean, it's very hard to say, you know what, we wanna cut across the board, but it has to, something has to be done. You know, something has to give. You know, are we gonna give the fund balance, or are we gonna have to cut the positions? You know, that's what I mentioned last court meeting, and that's what I'll bring up again this meeting.
Yes. You know, so there's also, okay, what are our options? Do we raise taxes? So we do have an 80-cent threshold, maximum rate that we can do with our IMS, which is our loan component, and our M&O, which is our general fund. We're about 4 cents away from that. So if we reach the maximum of 4 cents, which is 80 cents, well, that would generate 400,000. But next, we've got a significant debt service component. If next year the way that the trend has been, our values keep going down, I might have to use those 4 cents just to make sure we can, service our debt service, and, so we can't raise taxes. That's out of the question. I think we've reached our credit card is maxed out. So we've been holding on year after year, and we understand the departments need, employees. But we can do it with less. I had 6 employees when I took office. I'm down to 2, 3 if you count my bailiff. So that, and we do a lot of work. My department, I'm not, here giving myself but we do a lot of handle of the daily business of this county, and I do it with 2 employees. And so it can be done. Whether or not you need more people, it'd be nice to have more people, yes. You can spread out your workload to different segments of your department, but the work has to be done whether you have 1 or 4, if you want to work for the county. That's basically how it's going to come down to. I was talking about the significant debt service. So we've got one major payment. We issued some road bonds, I'd say 15 years ago, and it was $15 million. Our last payment is this year, and it's a heavy one. It's over $1 million. We'll finish paying all the road improvements that we did back then. But I'd say, well, that's going to release, so there'll be some good benefits for the taxpayer in the coming year. About 8 cents of reduction in your tax rate because of that paying off that debt. I would say, well, why don't you use those 8 cents to keep funding? Well, those were tax exempt bonds. We can't use them to continue to fund our M&O. So we're boxed in at our M&O. We are where we are. We can't bring in more revenue, tax revenue, unless we get significant increase in production, and then we'd be kind of boxed in by how much we can raise from one year to the next by the new state laws. So this is what we're going to be bringing in, is more or less what's going to be coming in from here on out. How do we handle a $16 million budget with $6 million in revenue? $10 million is what we've been hustling year after year. We didn't, when we had a lot of production, I've been here long enough, when we had a lot of production, we just depended on our property tax revenue, the mineral revenue. We didn't look for any other revenue options. That's enough. We would be getting $25 million a year for our general fund. Why go out for anything else? We realized what was going on, so we through the state legislature we enacted a sales tax, which brings in $3 million. Okay, that offsets 6 plus 3 is 9. And then what else? We've still got $7 more million to make up. What else can we do? Franchise fees. We went out and got some franchise fees, about $500,000. So we went out for maquinitas. Even we had a bunch of amusement redemption machines in town that was all over. So we had the ordinance making authority. So we said, you know what? Let's try to control this, and at the same time try to bring some revenue into the county. So that brought in over $1 million for 4 or 5 years. But this year it brought in $300,000. So it's not dependable. So at $300,000, we're close to 10. Our jail has been a good source of revenue for many years, but it brings in $2.5 million. We're 12.5 now. Our fire department, who does an outstanding service to our community, they really worked their calls off. Their collections have increased, but that's another $1 million. But we can't get to the $60 million. So technically, if we were operating like we used to in the past, we should be having a general fund budget of $6 million. We've got it at 16. It's unaffordable. So every year, like this year, I budget. Good example, maquinitas. $800,000 is what we received the prior year. So I based my estimates on what came in the prior year. So I placed $800,000 for coming for this year. Well, guess what? They closed down a whole bunch of them. We only got $300,000. That's $500,000 short. That's not going to come in. Our property taxes. I based myself on 92% collections. Do we get there? Some years. This year I think we're at 89, maybe 90. So we're going to be short maybe $300,000 or $400,000 there. So it just adds up, and the end result is we end up cashing a CD last month for $900,000 because we didn't get the revenues we were thinking were gonna come in. Property tax, jails, they don't come in. It's a very, it's a big gamble every year because we get $6 million that we can count on. The rest of it is a gamble. And we've been managing these years, but it is not sustainable, and we've been seeing our fund balance go down, and I think we've reached a point where, okay, like the commissioner said, do we keep going till we're completely broke and say, well, now we don't have a choice, let's run everybody off to get down to $6 million. That's where we're at, and it's a hard process, and certainly I thought in my proposed budget, 300,000, we brought it from $1 million down to 300,000, and we can live with it one more year, but then we have these expenses that we can't do without. We can't continue to operate our departments without good equipment. Our landfill is at a standstill right now. We've got a dozer in repair, our compactor's in repair. We can't afford to pay them, and so the trash is gonna pile up. We're gonna get into violations. So, I mean, with this equipment is absolutely necessary. Our fire department, yeah, we'll be in line for a grant for a brand new ambulance in January. We'll probably get it, but it might take 2 years to acquire that piece of equipment. We've got a chance to, we've got some good, the mounts, to buy a vehicle with it. We need to go with it. We need to get an ambulance. If they do 10 runs a day, put 100,000 miles in 3 or 4 months, we need an ambulance every year. So we can't get away from those capital outlay, but the way our current balance is, my proposed budget, I had $5,000 in capital outlay. Everything else is salaries and the general fund. I mean, so we pay our expenses, but we can't buy a piece of equipment, so it's difficult. Now, I put across some scenarios. We are very generous with our employees, and rightly so. They deserve it. Our benefit packages are the best. I can put them against any other county in the state of Texas. Our retirement, our insurance are very generous. We're 85-15. The county pays 85% of the premium for county employees. If we go to 75-25, that would generate $300,000 in savings. Now, that would certainly hurt the pockets of the employees who don't earn it. I mean, those are options that, as a court, we could consider instead of, laying off people, but the reality is, our general fund is $6 million, that would come in, and that's what we should, the reality check is, we're spending $16 million.
But Webb County they just did a hybrid health plan, so they had the 85-15 as well, they just jumped to 60-40, and others 80-20. Which affected, all the employees, I'm an employee of Webb County as well, so it affected everybody. So is that something, you're mentioning right now, that's something that we're gonna do and affect all 298 employees? I mean, and save 300,000, so no choice is easy. Somebody's gonna get hurt no matter what in the process. Zapata's hurting right now, financially, so no decision is easy, I agree with you on that, Judge.
Judge, if I may.
Yes.
Luana Martinez, Assistant Clerk, good morning.
Good morning.
I hear things about a list out there.
Yes.
Okay.
So the
Have
list,
you looked at that list?
no, it's correct. So one of the requests in the first hearing, like I mentioned to the judge, was, one of the proposals was to eliminate one position from every department in the general fund. So that's the list, one department from the general, from every department.
But that's like 40-some people, and you say there's just a list of 17 people out there?
Well, there's 17 departments. I mean, I don't know how many departments there are, but I don't know how many there are.
Do you have a list of names on it?
Yes, we do.
Well, because we have the slots, we might have they are county employees, it's not like we're disclosing any, but basically the criteria for proposing these cuts was last in, first out.
So I have a question. I'll be hit with 2 employees then, because I know that the other one's temporary and I agreed 100%. I understand what you said that. But now I'm gonna have another employee.
Yeah, because that employee was an Operation Lone Star employee initially.
I understand that one,
Yeah.
but the other one is on the list of the last
Yes,
hire.
so that everybody gets, so yeah, in your case, it would be 2.
So, okay, well, I'm here to ask for my employees, just to keep my employees.
Okay.
Because, I don't ask you for an $80,000 software program to scan our cases that we have, 12,000 cases that we have there. So these employees, other than just what their daily, work is, plus juries, plus grand
No, I
juries, plus,
understand.
they also do the scanning of each and every document, because it's for safety purposes. I don't ask you for an $80,000 software program, but they do work that way, so when my employee earns like maybe 20-some thousand, $23,000, that's a big difference. I'm asking to please be my employee and not cut my employee. I know that everybody's gonna be affected, but I would like to have my employee kept on, if possible.
So we'll write that down, is it, jotting that down?
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
And you say you'd be losing 2 employees, right?
Well, the one that would
The
officially
part-time.
start, that I
And the
completely
proposed
understand,
version.
I understand that
And I
yes,
ask because there's some here that are not 2, there's just 1 that they're losing, and they're part-timers, so I'm questioning that. I mean, if we're gonna cut, it's cut everybody across the board, not just who we pick. and
That's
choose.
that's the
Yeah.
recommendation I made, last.
Yeah,
week.
But on
Across
this
the
new one,
board,
it's not
everybody.
like that, it's not like that.
Cause some more cuts already have been included in the budget.
Yeah, but there's some that are not, they're just losing a part-timer and they're keeping on the rest of their employees.
Well, yeah, you can bring that up,
Yeah, no, I will.
Yeah.
But just a
Just
question.
where it's, if it's good for
Yeah.
one, it's good for the
Like I
other.
said, we just gotta be fair across the board and
Yeah.
make sure.
And I understand, a lot of families are gonna be hurting, a lot of families, and you know that. You know, they depend on, if both don't work in these families nowadays, you know, you don't get it done. So, I'm just asking you, please, we look at other ways, you know, see, how would it affect our employees if you do the 85, or the 80,
The 60/40,
yeah,
and
yeah,
70, I mean,
the
there's.
70, yeah, how would it affect them, how much?
Well,
would
we
it go
can,
up?
if you can run those numbers right quick, give
If-
some options.
If it means no.
It's about $150,000 for every 5%, so.
Judge, I would, at this point, the rate already has been adopted, so we really cannot make that change anymore.
No, but
at
if we
this
don't have
point.
the employees. No, but yeah, I'm sure we could change it.
I don't believe so.
The insurance is already done, we can do it for next year.
Yeah. I'm thinking we haven't finished with our budget, I think we can change it. So we should be able to change it
Just to
and,
give us an idea as to what we, so
Yeah.
we may pay a little bit more, but the whole all the employees won't be affected. Just maybe something to look at before.
well, if you can get on the phone right now, then, and clear that up.
Thank you, Judge.
In my opinion, I'd rather them get paid and not get paid, you know.
I know as far as savings for every 5% that the employees pay, it's about $150,000, that's what it was last year. It might be a little more, so I don't see why we could not change, what we're not changing the policy, but we're changing is who's paying it.
Yes, you're
We send them a
correct.
check anyway.
You're correct,
The
yeah, you're
insurance is
correct.
already
Yeah,
set,
yeah.
right?
Yeah, so we're not changing the premium.
Right, yeah, I was thinking of premium, yeah, you're right.
We could certainly do
So
that.
the example we can use, you know, like Webb County, they did hybrid, so they did the employee only, they jumped to 60/40. 60 the county, 40% the employee. Employee and children, 80/20, and then employee and the whole family, 80/20. I believe that's the way they did it, so, I mean, that's just an option that we can, just look at those numbers of 60/40 and, you know. and see what-
Figueroa, I know your department, and I don't know if you checked into SB 22, I mean, your department is not immune from cuts.
Absolutely, Judge. That's why we submitted an alternate budget, Judge, where I redistribute the SB 22 grants to be able to reflect potential changes that are made by the court, Judge.
Are you assuming, the dollar value that you would lose with that employee, you're gonna match?
Right.
So the county would save the equal amount?
Well, assuming the county were, which I would hope not, but if the county were inclined to cut that.
Reduce one position.
I would essentially not lose that employee because I would redistribute monies from SB 22 to fund that employee, but the monies that were being received by some of the other employees as
But the county's obligation would amount to almost the amount that employee would save the county.
Well,
That's what I'm getting at.
Yes, whatever the exact amount that's reduced by the county would then be shifted over to the SB 22.
That should use their
including.
All right, so that would, take care of that one, with the
Yeah, there's a lot of options, that we've been, talking. I know I spoke to Mr. Figueroa. Maybe we could seek a reduction in workforce policy that would allow Zapata County the opportunity to explore, mid-budget, severance. Because, I know everybody needs a job. Just giving them 20 days it's hard to try and find another job. So it's like, what can we do to give them, at least adequate time to find a job? Give them 3 months, 6 months, so that was another option that we could probably take. Of course, we would have to amend the budget, and then probably mid-year, still have to go through, the cuts, but at least we're giving them adequate time to, look for a job, and not cut them right away.
For some form of mid-year severance. But the court would have to adopt a reduction in force policy at an upcoming scheduled
Commissioners' court meeting.
Which would then afford the parameters in which the county could take steps for reduction of workforce.
We're trying,
could be
because I know it's a
mid-budget.
hard decision to do, and everybody needs a job.
Judge, I need to fight for my employee also. It's election, we have 2 elections coming up. Okay, Celica's going to be out. I have 1 employee out on FMLA, so that just leaves Lori and myself to run the entire office. It's tough. We can't do it. We won't be able to do the elections. If you're gonna cut somebody, then I recommend that you hire an election administrator, because there's smaller counties than us that have EAs. Okay, we can't do everything. We don't have enough people.
And that's why we're looking for options.
So, do you want to include, the option, Commissioner, of, we'd like to get the savings of it, of, 75-25? Would that be an option, Commissioner, that you would also propose?
Oh, definitely,
Yeah.
if it's still possible, if we're.
Yeah,
it
it just-
it's just.
I mean, what our premiums are gonna get paid is what we agreed to, it's just, how much.
How much contribution goes to the employee?
Yeah.
So we can get those numbers and figure out how much we can save there.
Okay.
Commissioner Judge.
Yeah, okay, Judge.
That seems to be like a huge part of the decision-making that hopefully you all can get in a few minutes. If you're amenable to taking a break while you get that information, that'd be great too, and whenever that's possible. Cause obviously some people may have some other options similar to what you all are thinking about right now as well, before we go into the actual budget.
Correct.
Yes, and, yeah, we could certainly recess, Judge, and not act on it until we're ready, so absolutely. So, yes, we can do that. Yes. So far, what the Commissioner mentioned is we had,
Go ahead.
the proposed
Judge,
changes.
I'm
There
sorry.
was,
Judge, excuse me.
Excuse me, I'm sorry, Judge and Commissioners, there is an issue with, like the elections. You just, like, if we have a part-time employee helping us with elections, it's doable, but they are liable, like if something happens to them, like, there's a big liability there for the county.
Because they're not insured or.
The equipment is it's heavy. If we get the new equipment, it's not gonna be as heavy, but we still have to carry equipment to the polling locations. And also, something happens, it is gonna be a liability for the county.
It's a liability for the county.
Yeah.
So, as far as transporting equipment, you would need help from.
We need help with that, and
Other departments.
and at the end of the night, we can't expect results to be faster, because we have to each go out to the polling locations to get the equipment and everything, and then work inside the office.
We all go out for the
So-
equipment, all of us,
Yeah,
including.
we can plan on how we can make that happen with other employees, to expedite.
And the thing is that the person that's listed here, she's already started getting the training for the new equipment.
Mary Jane, I understand, I mean,
But, you
I don't
know-
have any employees left, so, I mean, you're preaching to the choir, I know exactly what's going on. I need more help, but
Yeah.
we
But
don't
for
have
two
no money, we
people
don't have any money to pay them.
2 people to handle the entire election is kind of tough.
Yes, I understand.
Let's
But-
wait for this option and let's see.
You know, and so we go back to, okay, we don't have money to buy equipment, We don't have, definitely not gonna have any money for ever giving a cost of living adjustment. Everything keeps going up. We've been stuck with the same salaries for at least 5 years. How's that gonna happen? It'll never happen. So right now, one of the options is, well, let's take more money from the employees with, from their insurance premium. You're talking, if we go another 10%, going down to 75-25, talking another $100 per pay period. That is gonna come out of their pockets, every single one of us. So,
But they have a job.
but they have a job, but will they be complaining all the
insured.
way when they see their first check? We're gonna hear it. So, yeah, there's no good options left.
That's what I mentioned, regardless, which option we go. Yes, of course, these, individuals, the positions will have a job, but, everybody will have to take that cut. If it goes, to that.
I think it'll be about $100 a pay period if we go 10% more to
It'll be
get
about
300,000.
So, with inflation, we're still taking, we're going backwards instead of forward, so that's what we're gonna be at on that.
And also maybe through attrition, instead of just the insurance, attrition, put a hiring freeze as they're leaving, they don't hire. So that will make sure that we can bring that number.
Yeah, so that we can include, Roxy, the 75-25 and hiring free.
Or even 70-30, we might have to look at 70-30, just depends how much we're gonna be able to save. Cause here we're looking at 700,000.
If I
Yes,
may,
Judge, I'm sorry.
I don't know when I address that, one of the things that I have heard that, some folks, jurisdictions do with regard to the hiring freeze that was spoken to a minute ago. What happens is that, so there may be days, weeks, months before somebody's actually, hired, when they're allowed to be hired by the court. So they would have to come to the court to actually, and you all would have to, agree
Correct.
to allow them to get hired, because that's basically the proposal is. Will that money that is saved during that week, 2 weeks, month and a half, 2 months, whatever it took to hire that person, that money could then, it no longer would belong to the department, it would be swept by the commissioner's court, and taken back into the account to be able to be used as, a budget surplus, as opposed to letting the departments keep it
That
and do
makes a lot of
something with
sense,
it.
yeah.
Correct.
And that's basically one of the ways that you could address that, if you just talked about.
That makes a lot of sense, thank you, Judge. Any other comments? Yes, Fernando, good morning, are you doing on probation now?
It's because I'm leaving to a conference today because I got a scholarship. I got nominated for something. Judge.
Morning, Fernando.
Morning.
Good morning. So that's the first thing I'm gonna apologize how I'm dressed. So I got a scholarship because of all the work that I've been doing. I've got nominated by one of the other Southern Chiefs.
Well, congratulations.
Congratulations.
Yes. So today I'm going to I think the oldest conference in the state of Texas. It's their 80th year anniversary. So I just wanted to pass around, I guess, our budget. It was mentioned to me that we should, it's for a moment of clarity and if you guys have any questions. I apologize that everything's kind of small, but it's my 3 departments that are on there, so you guys can see it a little bit clearer. This kind of goes back to what Judge Rathmo just spoke with, actually, with the county attorney, Mr. Figueroa. I did the same thing last year. I allotted a lot of the fringe benefits to save the county exactly $54,131.
I remember, yeah.
From our general fund account. So our budget went in 2024 from $338,961. I lowered it to $284,830, right? So I already, if you would like to look at it this way, I already saved the county for one position like the salary and fringe. As we mentioned in the last budget hearing, you guys see there the local match that's needed to keep our grant. So I do know that I'm one of the departments that maybe most people are gonna see that, oh, well, he's not getting someone cut. I've already made the sacrifice, obviously, to take away money from our budget, to help the county. At the end of the day, that's
No, and we understand the requirement of the county to have that 49%, and that's where we're at. And I just wanna make sure that
Yeah.
We're exactly there, and I think the conversations we had with you is just don't increase, you know, any county contribution, and I see you kept it at 284.
Of course.
Yeah.
And as you see there in 2026, where it says like in red, our local match does go up to 275, 346 with 42 cents, because if you see in the middle department, the 580 fund, you see at the bottom where it says total expenditures. So our grant went up from the previous year. It went from 269,947 to 279 with $16, right? So as the grant goes up, the county match goes up, but
So
we're
you
still
have
in the budget.
272?
That was for this previous year. It's for the 2026
So the
budget.
26 is 275?
Yes.
Okay.
So that's the local match, which we're still over, right, in a good way. If you see in the middle department at the bottom section, it
Yes.
says total expenditures. So that's the amount that we were given, $279,000 with $16, right? So that means obviously we're spending it appropriately, we're spending it consistently, you know, to continue growing that fund. I guess another thing to note is, it was mentioned to me that I should probably discuss to talk about this. As you guys are aware, we have an alternate juvenile referee. I think we've already discussed about this previously, that he was hired because our juvenile referee, he suffered a stroke, right? At the end of the day, our juvenile referee gets paid from our general fund, right? And the question has been discussed if we're continuing to pay our juvenile referee, our current juvenile referee, which is Ricardo Solis. He's worked for the county over 20+ years. To give you guys a little bit more information, like this past year, we had like 63 cases that were referred to our department that were disposed by Mr. Solis. I did that with the county attorney's help, of course. So that number went up from like 30 cases being reported to DPS and like through the CJA system and everything. So obviously we're getting more caseload, which we can handle. That's not a problem. But the main part that I'm trying to discuss, I guess, at the end of the day is Rick Solis is an important and valuable asset to our community. He's been here over 20+ years, hearing all our detention hearings, making time for this community. I don't know if you guys, I know Judge Raffnell, you've seen him here.
Yeah, we certainly miss him dearly because he is a staple at our county court, and yeah, we miss him. There's a big gap, void in our county court system with him being ill, but we hope he can recover and come back and continue to help our community. And he's also very reasonable with his fees. So yeah, we miss him. I did notice, Fernando, and you know, so the state, I guess, contributed or funded additional funds for salary increases? Is that?
Yes, Judge.
So these monies are all state funded?
Yes. So what is my position, my deputy chief's position, one of my officer positions, are all state funded, so it doesn't cost the county a penny. The way it's distributed, I have 2 officers and just a secretary that get paid from county funds.
Okay, so if that, in the case, in 2 years, the state decides to lower their, how much they're gonna contribute, I guess your salaries would go along with whatever money's coming from the state. You wouldn't be asking the county to keep your salary?
Supplement.
Yeah, okay, all right.
Yeah, and then, yes, so that last department at the bottom, as you see, like, that's a salary adjustment fund. This is a state recognized, and the legislature this past year, or I think it was 2 years ago, they asked for more money for juvenile probation officers because the salaries are so low in the 254 counties that there are. So that money is exactly for salaries. And at the end of the day, like, I'm out there looking for funds, and I just started and got approved for a grant that benefits our county and might open up 2 positions. It wouldn't report to me or be under me, but we're working in conjunction with Webb County. It's called the Community Coalition Program or something. I don't remember the name exactly. But at the end of the day, it's gonna open up 10 slots for us to refer kids here locally. and it's gonna focus on behavioral health. We are finding that we're getting a lot of kids that are 11 years of age, 12 years of age. Obviously, they're really young to get in trouble. And a lot of it's behavioral and family issues, so we're gonna focus on family counseling. The one that's gonna report all these expenditures, since it's 2 counties working together, is Webb County. It's a 4-month program. We're gonna have 10 slots available. When it comes to employees that the counseling service is called Southwest Key. They've been working with Webb County they've had that grant for 13 years. This is gonna be the first year that we get included in. My discussions with the chief over there and trying to open up more resources here. So they might open up 2 case manager positions. I think they would be part-time. I'll get you guys more information on that.
I appreciate that. Well, congratulations on your recognition
Yes.
and yeah, thank you for keeping our commitment the same. So
Yes, and then obviously at the end of the day, there was all this has already been approved in our juvenile.
Yes,
court
and we
for
did.
salary.
Judge Zier, we had that meeting.
Yes.
Okay, thank
So
you.
that's it.
Thank you.
You know, there's some departments that are fortunate to receive state funding, county attorney, of course, the sheriff department, juvenile probation, that, you know, they are receiving extra funds that all the other employees, in our departments may not be able to receive. I mean, I thank the state of Texas for helping out, and I wish they could help all our departments out, but, we'll take what we can.
And just one little last tidbit. So we need to just amend the general orders to reflect the salaries, because I believe the budget was submitted.
It'll be
before
included,
So
in the
just-
final general order.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll get it done.
Okay.
Thank you.
Any other department heads? If not, I'll go ahead and close.
I have a question real quick.
Okay.
On the recommendation you made, Commissioner Solis, it's all part-timers for them to get removed, right?
It was a part-timers
And then one
possible
position
from
from
general fund,
everybody,
from the general
full-time?
fund.
Okay, that's my question. You get that, Roxy? Okay, just.
Yeah, I think that's counted in the sheet, right? That's what we took into
Should be,
account.
but if there's any mistakes, we can fix it.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll get with you.
Okay. All right, so any other comments? I have one more, and I see Ralph in the audience. Last week, there were some developments at our water plant. 2 employees retired, or resigned, actually. So I did meet with, I know, Ralph, that you've been sick the last few weeks, and you look better. But, so I did meet with all the operators, because these resignations took place in our water treatment operator section of our, so that concerned me, and I did meet with all the operators there. We do have a B license. We lost a B license employee, but we do have a backup, a second B license employee, and so I met with him and said, okay, how do we adjust these positions? And I met with Ralph too. So basically, slot 14 would move to slot 11, which is the water plant supervisor, and he's the one with the B license. And then slot 10 would move to slot 14, which is the position held by the person moving to the supervisory position. So he'll get a bump up in his salary. There's a gentleman, a C operator in San Ignacio, who got his license, who is not at the $15 per hour threshold. So he will move from slot 17, the slot he currently holds, to slot 13, which was one of the slots that resigned, who was at $15. And then there's another slot, Rodrigo Lopez Jr. He's a D operator, and his salary should be reflected at $13 instead of $12.75. There are no additions to the water plant budget, so it's all within the budget. And I think you'll have 2 vacant positions for operator trainees that hopefully we can fill and train some individuals within the county. So those positions will be available for some of these employees that may or may not be cut. But I'd like to include that in the general order and to vote on it. We talked about juvenile probation. Road construction, Commissioners, I think, there was a request by Commissioner Moya to increase, the proposed budget from 45 to 50. Is that for all four,
Yeah,
Commissioners?
it's all for.
And so that would be an additional $20,000 in spending from, the road and bridge. Were there some vacancies in road and bridge that will offset that increase?
No, but you're cutting one from.
Road and bridge?
Road and bridge.
Okay, so that would offset, okay, that'd be
Yeah,
good.
we're losing our employees.
Yeah, okay.
Just for clarification.
So everybody, well, I mean, yeah, that would, and that would still leave a balanced budget in the road and bridge. And you would go back to your normal $50,000 road construction, line item.
And I only asked for the 5 because, I mean, of course, all of us have a lot of things we gotta do. But I got a lot of roads in precinct 1. I have Pedernal, Los Lobos, Tecolote, and you're talking about 8 to 10 miles each road that I have to maintain. Mind you, I have to drive my equipment to get it there and maintain these roads. So that's why I'm asking for the additional 5,000 for materials and stuff.
No, I know, it was a reduction that I was, trying to balance, but I think we'll still be able to balance, the road and bridge fund. Any other questions, Commissioners, before I close the hearing, and, we can, get into our regular. Oh, okay. Judge, yes, Judge.
I just wanted to make sure that, you're gonna close the hearings. I know that you're proposing amendments.
And then we'll take action on the budget at the very end of our Commissioners Court meeting. So we've got a long agenda, so we'll come back, we'll leave it for the very end.
Thank you. Just wanted to make sure that I had an opportunity to propose alternative action on that particular.
Okay,
item.
all right.
Judge, so, as far as the insurance, I called, they need to get an approval, since we had already submitted our,
Rates and
our
then
rates and
company.
contribution rates. It may be possible, since the plan is not changing, so I just need clarification. They told me that they'd get back to me. I told them time is of the essence, if they could get back to me as soon as possible.
So that might not be an option.
It may or may not. I can't guarantee it, but if you were to do, if that were to be an option, you'd be seeing a savings of 260,000.
Okay, so it's 130, for every 5%.
More or less, yes.
So that'd be a saving, and the employee would be. Did you have the
Employee would
increase?
be paying more.
Obviously, how, do you have
The rates?
Yeah, the rates?
So right now, for 85%, which we've approved, employee only is a rate of 53.59 biweekly. Employee plus children is 264.24 biweekly. Employee spouse is 379.77 biweekly. Employee family is 708.42. And if we were to be able to do the 75%, employee rate would go up to $89.32. Employee children $299.97. Employee spouse $415.50. Employee family $744.15.
It'd be going up about $40 bi-weekly for employees.
And that's 75-25 or?
75.
That would be per pay period, correct?
Per pay period, yes.
Do we have the amount of plans that have, or the number of plans that have the whole family?
Like how many?
Okay,
how
just
many?
family only.
Oh, breakdown?
It's like just on like the family only.
Family only, I
just
have
one
maybe
number.
a handful, not maybe a few.
Perfect, thank you.
Okay.
Yeah. And Judge, Commissioners, I'm gonna jump on the same boat. I would really like if you would consider to keep my employee as well. I am a one-person department without her, so,
I
and.
understand, yeah. Counselor, any other comments?
Judge, I think every department head's in the same position, obviously wanting to fight for their positions. Luckily, I have, my office is one that has a bit of a safety blanket, which is unfortunate that others don't. We're lucky to have that. But Having said that, Judge, I think I need to excuse myself from the court so I can get the modified proposed SB 22 budget submitted to the court and get adopted.
Okay, yeah,
So the court has all the options available.
We may have to come back and this afternoon and
Yeah.
finish what we started today. So, I'll go ahead and have a motion to close the hearing.
Does I make a motion to close, budget hearing?
Motion by Commissioner Solis to close the second budget hearing, second by Commissioner Garza, and so we have closed the second budget hearing. We'll move on, Commissioners, quickly into our regular Commissioners Court meeting, and I'll call our regular Commissioners Court meeting to order. This is September the 8th, 2025, and currently our time is, 10:06. First item on the agenda is roll call by our county clerk.
Judge Rathmo,
Present.
Commissioner Moya,
Present.
Commissioner Morales,
Present.
Commissioner Solis,
Present.
Commissioner Garza.
Present.
We have a quorum, Judge.
Thank you, Mary Jane. Dr. Mitter, are you prepared for two?
I'm
We
prepared.
need help.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yes, Dr. Mitter, thank you for being part of our court for so many years.
Yeah.
I thank you, I can't thank you enough how much help you bring to us.
I've seen a lot of things happen here, and you guys are doing a great job, but I think we really need to call upon the Lord this morning also.
Thank you, yes.
Bow your heads with me, let's pray. Our Father, again, who provides rest when needed, we come into your presence this day seeking your hand of guidance in the ever-changing atmosphere of our lives. Help us this day to see the decisions made today in this court will affect our todays and our tomorrows as well. So, Father, we need your voice to be heard by our leaders. May you speak today to our leaders as you spoke to Elijah, gently and quietly in the wind, and not in the earthquake and the fire. May our leaders be receptive to your voice this day as they seek to serve this community with courage. May wisdom be granted to them, may patience be theirs, and may peace come from their efforts to honor you. We thank you for your hand which both leads and protects. And in Christ's name we humbly ask these things again. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Dr. Mitter. Okay, I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Item number 4, Commissioners' Communications. I know we've had a long hearing. Anything to share with the court?
I just want to wish our Ag Extension Officer a happy birthday, Jesse.
There you go.
Birthday.
Happy birthday, Jesse. 35?
35.
Also, Judge, as always, with the rain comes the potholes, so we'll be fixing those, please report it to your respective, commissioner, and we'll be out there taking care of potholes, once it starts drying up.
I saw the lake came up, the river's up there in my house, so our pumping unit is taking in a lot cleaner water, so hopefully it'll stay that way.
We've been blessed with the rain over the past few days.
So hopefully the lake will come up a few more feet and make our job easier. We'll move on to public comment. The section provides the public the opportunity to address the Commissioners Court on any item on the agenda. Members of the public, not. We'll move on to item number 6, approval of invoices in your packets, Commissioners. We had invoices from August 22nd, 2025 to September 4th, 2025 for a total of $868,336.62.
Motion to approve is presented.
Motion to approve is presented by Commissioner Solis,
Seconded.
seconded by Commissioner Morales. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Approval of checks issued, and we had checks from 8/22/2025 through 9/4/2025 for the same amount, $868,336.62.
Motion to approve is presented.
Motion to approve is presented by Commissioner Solis, seconded by Commissioner Moya. And I just, on the general fund, $507,000, $400,000 of that, Commissioners, was our contribution to the 1115 waivers of the Laredo Medical Center in the state of Texas. So we actually only spent $100,000 in issue to that. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Moving on, to reports and presentation to certify the annual competition for county auditors and court reports. I think we've already done that, but he's not, we'll come back to it, he's not here. We will have the treasury report, Commissioners, in your package. And we have page 1, our fiduciary investment accounts, which includes our CDs. We have a CD total of $8,300,509.08. Moving on to our fiduciary demand account, We had beginning balances of $1,543,493.82. Revenues of $6,995,518.51. Expenses of $6,290,182.22 for an ending balance of all those operating accounts, general fund, road and bridge, waterworks of $2,248,830.11. Moving on to page 3, we continue with the fiduciary demand accounts. Beginning balance of $2,638,319.18. We had revenues of $390,034.91 for expenses of $1,745,178.08 for an ending balance of $1,283,176.01. And this includes forfeiture accounts, sheriff forfeiture accounts, every other account that we have. Moving on to page 4, our energy use for the month, for 2 months, it was $138,087.67. Water usage for the month of August was $6,015.16. Moving on to page 5, so our little gas wells around town for the month of August, royalties received was $4,766.16. Moving on to page 6, our rents from our community buildings. Our Sunny National Civic Center brought in $1,425 for the month of August. The Pavilion brought in $200. The Community Center brought in $500. Our swimming pool for the month of August brought in $1,013. And our swimming pool for San Ignacio brought in $1,660. San Ignacio, Jordan swimming. Moving on to page 7, our county clerk for Fund 10 for the month of August brought in $5,833.75. For the year, they're at $54,512.35, which is 90.85% of expected revenues. Fund 15 for the month of July, $198. And that's for the year, $2,278. And for the year, we expected revenues of $11,000. We're at 20% of expected revenues. District Clerk Fund 10 for the month of August, we brought in $21,833.43. For the year, with 1 month to go, we're at $64,887.98, which is 54% of expected revenue. And these have been adjusted, Commissioners, that, we had included 120, and whatever we included as expected revenues is what we had received the prior year. So, but yeah, it varies from year to year. Fund 15, District Clerk, for the month of August, $171. And for the year, $5,535.76, which is 55.36% of expected revenue. Our maquinitas, we had expected $800,000, which is what we had received the prior year, and with 1 month to go, $347,000 came in, which is 43.38% of normal expected revenue. Our sales tax, we had expected $2.4 million. For the month of August, we received $359,420.35, which there's been a lot of activity, and that's been our savior for this year, Commissioners. For the year, we're at $3,022,803.18, which is 125% of expected revenue. So that covers some of our other deficiencies. Landfill, expected revenue of $300,000. For the month of August, we're at $18,011, and for the year, we're at $199,896, which is 66% of expected revenue. Our jail for the month of August, $205,987.46. We had budgeted $2.6 million in expected revenues. So far this year, we're at $2,001,180.16, which is 76% of expected revenue. Jail telephone, we had budgeted $50,000. For the month of August, we received $3,190.78. For the year, with 1 month to go, we're at $64,256.02, which is 128% of expected revenue. Moving on to EMS, we had budgeted $900,000 in expected revenues. For the month, we received $167,086.87. With 1 month to go, we're at $1,349,215.54, which is 149.91% of expected revenue. Good job, Danny and Gabby, you've really helped out. Our JP Precinct 1, for the month of August, received $10,310.59. For the year, we're at $107,794.73. JP Precinct 2 brought in $9,718.88. For the month total is $109,793.99. JP Precinct 3 brought in $2,607. For the year, we're at $22,608.76. And JP Precinct 4 brought in $1,126.26. And for the year, we're at $31,702.01. So that's our treasury report. Need a motion to
approve as presented, Judge.
Motion to approve treasury report presented by Commissioner Solis. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Second by Commissioner Morales. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
We have the tax assessor collections department report. Betty, do you have that today?
I had it, but I'm not on there.
Yes, well, that's okay. What?
I don't have it.
Oh, you don't have it? Okay, that's fine. We'll next meeting. Yeah. All right. Yeah, there was a typo in the agenda, so.
For the proclamation, because they've been here all morning.
Yes. Well, yes, there's a presentation, right? Or what are we doing, Sandy? I'm sorry.
Suicide awareness prevention.
So let's move to proclamations. We're done with
Resolution and proclamation.
yes, moving on, item number 34 is proclamation declaring Suicide Awareness Month in Zapata County. Sandy, I'm sorry to keep you waiting.
No, that's fine, thank you.
Good.
So would you like for me to read it?
Yes, if you don't mind.
So
And by the way, you're in the budget finally. So one of the things that was being, we're not in compliance with was our contribution to the border region, who's doing an outstanding job for our community. So you're in the budget.
Thank you, and
Okay.
that's to service the people in our community.
Yeah, absolutely.
So thank you so much. So Sandy Maldonado with Border Region. So our proclamation for suicide awareness prevention for 2025. Whereas with September being recognized as Suicide Prevention Month, the National Suicide Prevention and Action Proclamation is created to raise the visibility of mental health and proactive suicide prevention resources in our community. We also want to start the conversation, disseminate or destigmatize it, and help connect people with the appropriate services and supports. According to the American Foundation of Suicide Prevention, more than 49,000 people die by suicide annually in the United States. According to the Hope for Day, with an average of 132 suicides completed daily, and each directly impacting 100 additional people, including friends, service members, family, social media connections, and neighbors, we can safely assume everyone has been impacted by suicide. Zapata County publicly places its full support behind those who work in the field of mental health, education, and law enforcement. We encourage all residents to take time to understand mental health through education and to recognize that we need to take care of our mental health while we take care of each other. Therefore, let it be resolved that today Judge Joseph Rathmill does hereby proclaim the month of September 2025 as National Suicide Prevention and Action Month in Zapata, Texas, in the county of Zapata.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you.
Thank you, Sandy.
And thank each and every one of you for your continued support. Thank you to Commissioner Garza for being an active member of our board, and all of the county officials who have continuously provided the support for Border Region and the people that we service in this community.
Well, the court wants to thank you and your staff for everything you guys do. As a police officer myself, I do see that it's on the rise, suicide, right? So I wanna thank you guys, from the bottom of my heart for everything you guys do. The endless hours, the behind the scenes, that a lot of people don't see. I see that as a police officer. So thank you very much from the bottom of our hearts.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You want a picture? No
Yes,
picture?
yes.
Okay.
And we need a motion before we forget.
We'll make a motion, Judge.
Yeah. We need a motion.
Okay. How are you? Hello, ma'am. Thank you for joining us this morning.
Hello.
Good morning. Thank you for joining. Thank you for your patience. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Abby.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank you. May we be dismissed, Judge?
Yes.
Thank you.
We'll make a motion right now to accept the preference. Thank you.
Judge, I make a motion to approve, the proclamation as presented.
I'll second that motion.
Motion by Commissioner Lee, second by Commissioner Garza. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Proclamation is passed unanimously.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
A little energy.
Yes.
Thank
Thank you, Delia, for providing this. Yeah, let's get it on the record. So we'll go back, Commissioners, to the tax collector report with Ms. Delia Mendoza, our tax collector.
Once again, good morning, Commissioners, Judge.
Good morning.
For the month of August, normally August and September are pretty low collection amounts. Okay, so then for the month of August in our general fund, we collected $59,055.33. Interest and sinking, we collected $24,825.28. On the report, it reflects the refunds that were paid out. Farm to market, we had $28.80. Special road and bridge, we had $7,877.46. Delinquent attorney fees, $13,603.38. For a total, tax collection of $105,390.25. And we had other fees and collections, tax certificates, excuse me, $4. Hotel motel tax, $14,425.75. Voter registration, copies and faxes, $86.50. Interest earnings, $33.26. For a total net collection of $117,939.76. We cut a check out to the Treasurer's office for $104,336.79. Our year-to-date collection rate is at 89.32%. Last year, compared to last year, with 88.57. Hotel motel tax, we're at collection from October the 1st through August 31st, $85,744.52.
Thank you, ma'am.
Questions, Commissioner? Good. So, did we get up to 100,000 in the hotel? Yes.
Not yet, it's 85,000.
85, okay, with 1 month to go. Good. All right, Commissioners, so I think we're done with, our presentation. Well, we have one more presentation here? Not here?
The auditor, but he's still not here.
Okay, so we'll move on to our action items, and, we will deliberate and consider actions on the following items. We'll leave the budget, for the very end, we've got a long agenda. So we'll move on to, item number 14, to award grant writing and administrative services for the 2026 Texas CDBG Colonia Fund Construction. I know there was some scoring done.
By the committee, is that correct, Judge?
Yes. So here it is, for the Colonia Fund Construction Program, we had 4 applicants. We had Joint Venture, Assessor and Company, Grant Works, and Lone Star Strategy Group submitted proposals, on the 1 million, grant request that we'll be making to TDA, hopefully we can get funded. The fees, for joint venture was, so evaluator 1, scored, for joint venture with a total of 198 points. That's 1, 2, and 3. Assessor and Company, evaluator 1, 2, and 3, scored 279 points. Grant Works, with the 3 evaluators, scored 225.6. And Lone Star Strategy Group, scored 249, points with, the 3 evaluators. Mr. Gonzalez usually, addresses the courts, but, the evaluators were the county auditor, Mr. Gonzalez, our personnel director, Ms. Nelly Trevino, and my assistant, Roxy Elizondo, and so.
Judge, I make a motion to go with the recommendation of Assessor and Company to award the grant writing and administrative services for the 2026, Texas CDBG Colonia Fund Construction.
Motion by Commissioner Solis, seconded by Commissioner Moya. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Mr. Escher, thank you for joining us this morning. Hopefully you always help out Zapata County. I'm so appreciative of your work and your wife's work in helping Zapata County all these years. And we look forward to getting a good project once again and helping our community out. So, okay, thank you. And to award engineering service, item number 15 is to award engineering services for the 2026 Texas CDBG Colonia Fund construction contract. We had 1 applicant only, and we had Premier Engineering as the sole applicant.
I'll make a motion to go with the recommendation with the 1 applicant of Premier Engineering.
Motion by Commissioner Solis, seconded by, who seconded? Moya. Seconded by Commissioner Moya. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion
Judge,
carries.
can we jump to number 25 real quick?
25? Sure.
Yes, sir.
Item number 25 is to request the use of the Zapata County Community Center on September 10th from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. for the Mesquite District FFA Leadership Club. Jesse, is he here? Or
No, it's Joanna.
Joanna? Come on in.
Please excuse my nasaliness.
Yes, thank you for your patience. Yes, so you've got an upcoming event.
Yes, sir. So this is the District Leadership Lab within Mesquite District. We're also Mesquite, fortunately. And so about 10 schools come in and they participate in leadership skills and enhancing so that they can go ahead and transfer it back to their chapters.
That's really nice.
So everybody loves coming to Zapata, just letting you know, and they love using our facilities. And so this is one of the reasons why I would like to request.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Yes.
if it's
Y'all
been
have a great
discussed
event.
and it's available.
Yes.
Motion approved.
Motion
Motion
approved by
Thank you so
Commissioner
much.
Moya, second by Commissioner Garza. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank
Good
you.
luck and thank you.
Ma'am.
We can go back to 16. Item number 16 is to award grant writing and administrative services for the 2027-2028 Texas CDBG Community Development Fund. So this is the 2027-2028, Commissioners, and we also had scoring done by the 3 evaluators. and we had 4 applicants. A joint venture scored 199 total. Esser and Company scored 253.25. Grant Works scored 210, and Lone Star Strategy Group scored 263. So the recommendation is to.
I'll make a recommendation with, to go with Lone Star Strategy Group that they did for the Texas CDBG 2027-2028 Community Development Fund Program.
I'll second that
Motion by Commissioner Garza, seconded by Commissioner Solis. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Engineering, there was also only one applicant, so.
Motion to go with the recommendation of Premier Engineering.
Motion by Commissioner Solis to go with, Premier Engineering, seconded by Commissioner Moya. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. All right. We'll move on to item number 18, to consider and approve a proposal for Zapata Quick Care to install an extended sun protection roof at the San Ignacio Waterworks. Commissioner Morales, yes.
Yeah, and I was just talking to Mr. Trevino. This is a proposal just to cover we got a visit from the state, and it's requiring us to extend the existing roof an additional so many feet to cover the.
Well, we have our
solutions and
technical
all that.
room, they're wanting us to extend it just so we can have some
coverage.
This is coming from the state?
This comes from the state.
Yeah, this is
Motion to
from the
approve.
state.
Motion to
Motion to
approve.
approve.
Yes, we got prices.
2,600.
Motion approved.
Motion by Commissioner Lee, seconded by Commissioner Moya to approve the proposal to install a roof for 2,600?
Yes.
$2,600 amount. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
It'll be $2,650.
2650.
$2,650.
Yes, that was one of the
That's one of the-
compliance issues we had.
And we're currently working on getting the bid for that other side where they have all the tanks.
We need to do all
That
that.
one, we'll probably bring it here at the end of the month with some bids also.
Okay, very well.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ralph.
Thank you, Rob.
Item number 19 is to approve the policies for Operation Lone Star for fiscal year 2026. Yes, Commissioners, as part of Operation Lone Star, the policies have been, I believe, submitted. Are you aware, Mr. Escher, on that? For policies that are being required, I know that.
Well, first of all, let me just say, we're humbled to be able to come down here and work with Zapata County again. We appreciate it. We know it's hard times, but believe me, there'll be better times on the horizon, so.
I hope so, you're right, we gotta be optimistic, I agree.
So, Sheriff Montes.
Sheriff is not here, he's at a conference at
But I
the
do
moment.
know, let me, touch on this, because I did have an item on here in operation, I'm sorry. We all know, again, Zapata County had some hard times with their past Operation Lone Star, activities. We have been in contact with the governor's office on their fiscal year 26. Zapata County did select Esser and Company to assist them with the Operation Lone Star fiscal year 26 project. Zapata County is going to get funded, okay? I actually assisted Zapata County with that application. It was in the amount of about $2.2 million. The award, the preview award is not active, but the award amount is going to be in the amount of $685,000.
Okay.
So let me just say you're not alone, as far as this cut, reduced amount of budget, but we will do everything we can to spread that and use it, by the sheriff's office in the most feasible and practical way to enhance the activities here with the Zapata County Sheriff's Department. My recommendation would be not to start any work on that, because the award is not active. It does have a start date of September 1st, 2025, but the award is not active, and neither is any of the other counties' award active at this point. The governor's office is going through that process and making these awards active. We have visited with the lady up there at the governor's office, who is the grant manager for this particular project. Her name is Lynn Crow. She is, been employed. She has all, to my knowledge, all of the OLS projects going on in the state of Texas. So her plate is really full at this point. There are a number of conditions of funding on this particular project. And this is as a result of the performance on the previous OLS contract with Zapata County. So we're kind of having to jump through some extra hoops to kind of get off to a correct start. I do know the sheriff's department, I do know the judge's office, and myself, Esther and company, our company here, we've been working diligently on moving this project forward. So these are the policies that are in place, documenting the timesheets, activity reports, everything that the sheriff's department needs to provide to move this project forward and put the rest of it forward. So, be my recommendation with any and all of those policies, go ahead, be my recommendation to adopt those.
Judge, I'll make a motion to approve the policies for
I'll
our
second
OLS for fiscal year 2026.
Motion by Commissioner Solis, seconded by Commissioner Morales. Any discussion? All those in-
Question for you.
Huh?
Has legal gone over?
Yes. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Quick question, are you aware of the 4 slots that they were cutting from the sheriff's office?
8,
Well, it was 8, right, but it was 4 for the new.
the 4 deputies and the 4 detention officers.
They're not included in the grant, I think it's just overtime, I believe.
I know in that budget, here soon, the sheriff's department will be modifying that budget from what it originally was. I mean, you know, we kind of pie in the sky kind of deal.
Sure.
And, for that $685,000, he will be modifying that budget to his current.
Okay, so those positions may be included, some positions may be included, yes.
When will we get the final on that?
We'll be bringing that to the court.
I know we're funding them out of the general,
Yeah,
right?
we're there's more.
Yeah, that's why, so we know we have to extend or not, but have the money.
Okay, all right. Moving on to, item number 20 is to approve the final compliance project and expenditure report to the U.S. Department of Treasury for the coronavirus state and local fiscal recovery funds, ARPA. So I know this, Corona was, you've been working on this for a long time, Mr. Esser.
The court may recall that, about 4 years ago, Zapata County got, 2 installments from the U.S. Department of Treasury. This was due to the coronavirus, pandemic. Well, I wish I could come this morning and drop a couple $1 million in y'all's lap
Right.
to kind of help out with general government services. Zapata County did receive $2,754,105 from the U.S. Treasury Department for the coronavirus state and local fiscal recovery funds. That's just another name, same as ARPA, American Recovery Plan Act. So, at the very beginning, the court adopted a resolution to be able to use this for general government services. What that meant, you just about use it for anything in general government services that was going on in Zapata County at that time. I know a lot of the funds are used for water and wastewater emergency, repairs and stuff like that.
Sure.
So we've been reporting to the U.S. Department of Treasury throughout the course of this project, the last 4 years. We made the final report, in April of 2025. There's no further action that is required by Zapata County at this time. Zapata County is in compliance, with all their expenditures and their, reporting requirements to the U.S. Department of Treasury. We would go in there periodically and log into the U.S. Department of Treasury, and believe me, that is no easy task. It's a federal website, and we had to give blood every time we went in there. And so, at the end of the day, there's no further action needed to be taken by Zapata County, and you know, I have a clean bill of health on that.
That's really good news, because yes, I appreciate your work on that, Mr. Esser, and I'm glad we came out clean on that one. It's a good job for your due diligence, so I appreciate that.
We appreciate that. We
Yes.
always enjoy working with Zapata County.
Thank you. We need a motion to approve.
I'll second that, too.
Motion to approve the final compliance report by
And I'll
Commissioner Solis.
second it.
Seconded by Commissioner Garza. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Item number 21 is to approve the Esser Company Consultant LLC invoices 2434 and final for the management of the Zapata County Coronavirus State and Local Fiscal Recovery Funds. So I know, Mr. Esser, over some time, we had some invoices, we paid most of them, but I think we still owe you for 25, right?
Yes, sir, this is for all of the, reports for the last 4 quarters and for the
Yes.
final report in, April of 2025.
Yes.
So this is according to our contract with Zapata County.
Absolutely.
Where would this be coming?
21,520, yeah.
Correct, it'll be 21,520, but where would this come out?
Consultants from our fund balance, we're running, yeah.
Oh, motion to approve as presented, total amount will be 21,520.
Motion by Commissioner Solis, seconded by Commissioner
Yes.
Morales. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Item number 22, update status of Zapata County fiscal year 2026 Operation Lone Star Grant Program. I think you informed us most of it, so we'll see what exactly we can utilize that money for the sheriff's office, so.
Yeah, and we'll be coming back to the court periodically on updates on
Okay.
this. Let me just stress right now, it's, the award is not active, it's pending.
Correct.
Don't accept that as an alarm or anything, you know. None of the awards have become active along the border counties at this point, but the award is in the amount of $685,000. We have been in communication with the governor's office, and, you know, we're trying to, including the sheriff's department and the judge's office and everybody else involved, we're trying to get Zapata County off on the right foot this time, and to make sure that we're in compliance with all the reporting and the expenditures and the financial status reports and all that. We will be coming back to the court periodically on updates.
Very well, sir. Item number 23, so that's no action on that one, Commissioner.
No, it's just an update.
Item number 23 is to approve the 2026 CEO/law enforcement certifications and assurance for the fiscal year 26 Operation Lone Star. And yes, Mr. Esser?
This is one of the conditions of funding, that has to be executed. It's a certification that is required by, the chief elected officer, which is, Judge Rathmel, and head of law enforcement agency, which is, Sheriff Pontus. And so, once this is signed by both, entities, this will be uploaded onto the e-grants portal for this particular grant, and that condition of funding will be met with the addition of a number of other conditions that have already been uploaded this past week.
Motion to approve certification and insurance form, pending legal review.
Motion by Commissioner Solis, second by Commissioner Morales. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Mr. Esser, thank you.
Thank you
I
so
guess you'll
much.
be heading back soon. Make sure you have lunch in one of our wonderful restaurants. We've got a lot of restaurants.
I dropped on a ring yesterday.
Thank you for bringing the ring.
You bet. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Item 24, to approve the TxDOT temporary closure state right-of-way permit application for the use of the US Highway 83 for the annual 2025 Hot Fest Parade, and approve the resolution of said event. So, yes, Commissioner, this is,
Second.
yeah,
I'll second
motion by
that.
Commissioner Morales to approve, seconded by Commissioner Solis. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Item number 26 is to approve program contract between Zapata Crime Stoppers and Zapata County Commissioners Court with an amount not to exceed $25,000 as stated in section 351.901 of the local government code. I don't know, Mr. Figueroa has reviewed this also, Commissioners. Certainly, we'll help with what we can. I don't know. Certainly 25,000 seems like a number that we can't afford at this time.
No, definitely not. We're on the verge of cutting positions as we see,
Yeah.
so it's gonna be.
So, I mean, we'll approve the.
And the amount.
Able to bring it back once we.
Yeah, and see how much, we'll see how much we can help them out with later.
Pending the amount in the legal review?
Yes.
Okay. We'll go with that motion to approve, pending the amount and, legal to review it.
Okay, motion by Commissioner Solis.
I'll second that.
Seconded by Commissioner Garza. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Item number 27 is to review status and take action on raw water intake improvement. Mr. Gonzalez? Thank you. We got to you, Mr. Gonzalez.
Good morning, Deputy Commissioners.
Good morning.
Really had a busy morning.
Well, we're not done
We're
yet.
still not done.
So,
I'll just make it brief. We have an update on the projects. We usually do monthly updates so that we can keep the court informed as the progress on the project. On the raw water intake, we're currently working on for the foundation. The pumps and the electrical equipment has been ordered. That's en route. It hasn't, those have long lead times before they get delivered, but we ordered those right away as soon as the project was approved.
And the track hose also have a lead time?
Yes, the track hole, I did call Mr. Rueda with Caterpillar, and
I think you mentioned December.
December?
Okay. The last time I spoke with him, he said we were getting
Okay.
December.
Why is it taking so long?
He said that they were gonna, I mean, I figured they would have them
Yeah,
shelf ready.
that's what he told me.
And they don't have them shelf ready, they're
Building
building
it.
it.
They're building it.
Yeah, so if they're building it, then it does take them a while to build it, but, they, they didn't have it.
And this is a super long reach, correct?
That's correct, yes. That will be useful for the,
For
many
anything.
businesses that the county has.
For everything we've been doing.
Yeah, they don't have the same kind of strength as the
Yeah,
one you
correct.
have at the landfill.
And the other is weaker.
But it does reach, like for your raw water intake, which is the product we ordered it on, for your Bravo,
Bonding.
cleaning, for any of the other channels that we're cleaning.
Golf
about,
course.
within the county, and then, the golf course also.
It'll get here, so they're on order, we're good with the grant, with USDA, we met last week. We're having, monthly Zoom calls with USDA representative, Mr. Roland Gomez and his staff, and so they're really, wanting to stay on top of these projects, make sure that, we, receive the funding, get these projects built, so we are having a monthly meeting,
On that one, Judge, I do have a small invoice from contractor for some of the concrete, not concrete, but the framing that we're doing for the concrete work.
Right.
And, some of the materials that have already been ordered. So it's for the berm construction, they're about 50% complete. The concrete slab, construction, I put them at about 25% complete. And then, on the raw water mounted, pump equipment, they're at 40% complete on that. And then electrical installation and pumps, they're at 30%, and the supply for the transfer switch, that's also 30%, which is mainly the equipment. You had already had a previous invoice, so this will be invoice number 2, and it's for a total of $39,377.50. And that will go to, Muflon Oilfield Services through AgStar, bonding agency.
And you said it was invoice number 2?
Yes.
Motion.
And
That's the only one that you have?
I do have one other, and the other one is for EnviroDredge. EnviroDredge is a company, that's gonna come do, it's independent from the work that we're doing there. I had come before the court, and we looked at 2 environmental dredging companies. One of them had provided us a cost for the dredging there at site. It was $140,000, and then there was another cost for like some divers. When I sent them the approval for the dredging of the divers, the court had approved. The gentleman sent back a response that the divers were included if they did the work, the other work.
So they're.
Yeah, so they're not gonna.
They're not
do
coming
that.
down for
They're not coming
$65.
down for that, so, told them that, then, I mean, that's fine, so the 17,000 that we had approved, we're not
spending that.
We're not spending that on that right now. We did also approve another company, the name of the company is EnviroDredge. They're gonna do a dredge map sediment survey study that includes a bathymetric survey, push, probe measurements, site evaluation for future dredging, a dredge map report, and dredging cost estimate to be delivered. That will be able to utilize as some specifications so that we can invite companies to put a bid together and, cause it's.
And also request funding.
Request, yeah, cause it's gonna be over 100,000 based on the cost that we got from that other company. So this study's gonna actually,
$2,500.
Okay.
And we did issue a PO, we've not paid it yet. The work is scheduled to be done on the 24th of this month.
Motion to approve invoice number 2 to Axstar in the amount of $39,377.50, and also the dredge study, in the amount of $2,500.
Motion by Commissioner Solis, second by Commissioner Moya. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
We are, paying through reimbursements, I know.
Yes, we
The
are.
contractors aware that.
They are.
Okay.
So we are submitting for reimbursements, so when reimbursements comes in, then we'll issue it.
Okay.
I did indicate that to them on the last invoice.
Okay.
And the first one took a little while because it was a new project.
Yeah.
We hadn't set up the account yet, but I think the future ones should be within a month.
Not smooth.
Okay, good. Item number 28, to review status and take action on the Zapata County Fire Station, office.
On the fire station, like Judge Rathmore mentioned, we've been meeting with USDA officials, once a month, the first Wednesday of the month. On that one, we provided an update that the plans and the specifications are, set for review. We're sending those up this week to USDA so that their department can review them and then bring back comments. So it's just an update on that project. And,
I guess, given that this has a loan component, it might take a little longer, I guess. It's.
yes, that's what they mentioned, once that the funding would be available. But, for now, we're sending it for review from their agency and not for bids yet.
Not
but,
for bids yet.
Yeah, they said, once they provide us their comments, we'll address those and then we'll be, I guess, when funding's available, we'll put that up for.
How long do you guesstimate on that?
It probably, because of the loan component, they're waiting to see what kind of funding they're getting, so I'm guessing it's probably 3 months. Because on their end, they have to know that we're matching, I think, $750,000. That match is gonna go in the term of a loan, and, they have to have that loan monies available to be able to lend out. They don't
Yes,
have that.
so it's moving along.
Yes, let's go.
They didn't, I think they were, I guess confident we'd move forward with it.
Yeah.
And yes, like Mr. Gonzalez says, he'll be sending the plans, for their review, and so it's moving along.
Good.
Okay.
It's just to put a smile on the chief's face, but.
Yeah.
Item number 29, no invoices there?
No invoices.
Okay, item number 29 is to review status and take action on the Zapata County Sheriff's Office improvement.
On that one, Judge and Commissioners, we did get an invoice from Armco Industries, did the roofing report. I don't know if the roofing report's included in your packet, but.
I don't think so.
Okay.
It was,
They provided us a roofing report, and I'll leave it at the judge's office so that the court can review it. And I'll email it to Rossi so that she can forward it to all the commissioners.
I haven't reviewed it in detail, Commissioners, but I did review the price on it. It is pricey as far as their, estimate cost to basically install a new roof on the entire building, so probably looking at $500,000 to $600,000, which we don't have. So it's not an old roof, probably 14 to 15 years since we, installed that roof. It's not totally, leaking, although there's a few leaks on it. Maybe we can just repair the patches, patch up the leaks, and wait for more funding to completely redo the whole roof. We can't afford the $600,000.
Yeah, I saw that on the opinion from the company on.
Will that affect the grant?
No, it doesn't affect the grant. It's just that we'd like to be able to, like the judge mentioned, do the repairs on the areas where there are some leaks. We may want to consider a budget estimate to where if we do the repairs on the leaks that are visible, and then instead of removing and replacing the roof, maybe just placing another roof. Because I did see on the report that the structural stability of the framing was good, so putting another roof on top of that. They're membrane type roofs, which is like, the technology on that has advanced from when this one was done, maybe 16, that shows there to be about 16 years old.
16 years old. Yeah, it's not an old roof. I mean, it should last 30 years.
It should last 30. So we could do repairs and maybe consider doing another liner on top of that to create like a new seal
that may be a lot cheaper than the 600,000, but it is a big building, it's 18,000 square feet. Okay, so it's just, it's an invoice for 4,500 for the report on Arco Industries for, the roofing on that.
That will be outside of our grant contribution, right? Our match. This is something that we did on our own. It's not part of the grant application.
We can submit it.
We can
I mean, it's part of the same project. Submit it, see if they'll cover it.
Okay.
Because it may be considered incidental services.
Yeah.
And, if they don't, then.
But we needed to have, an inspection on it, then on it, so.
And who's this made?
We'll cover the 4,500 for, it's Arco Industries.
Motion to approve the invoice in the amount of 4,500, it will be to Armco Industries.
Motion by Commissioner Solis, seconded by Commissioner Moya, all those in favor? Morales? Okay, sorry, Commissioner Morales, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Item number 30 is to review status and take action on the Zapata County 4-H arena project. That one is moving along,
Yes, Judge and Commissioner, that one's moving along. On the report that we got from the architect is that the size of the roof that we have to cover the arena is gonna be, costly. It may take up the majority of the costs. And we wanted to add some restrooms and we wanted to add a concession area. The judges, booth also, they're indicating that.
bleachers, I believe, bleachers also.
Oh, and the bleachers. So those items will probably take the project over the budget line. They asked me to bring it to the court so that we can.
See how much
decide
we'll
it.
have on, as far as match for the grants, certificates of obligation, and see what.
We can add those as alternative items, and then at the time of bid, we can then have them be considered if the funding is there, and do add-ons for, we'll put add-ons for like the bleachers and the restrooms and the concession area.
It might be a good idea, we might not cover all the grant matches, correct?
Yes, that's correct. Yeah, we'll have to.
We're matching 100,000 on that one, Commissioner.
No, but in others, like a
Yeah.
total. like-
Yes.
With all the grants.
With all the grants that are here.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Quick question, have we figured out the parking on that situation?
On the
I mean,
parking?
I'm for making it nice, but where are we gonna park?
And what we did discuss, Commissioner, on that one, and, that you brought that up, is that we did discuss it at the meeting, removing the Little League field that's there, and using that whole area for additional parking. We would want to have events, multiple events throughout the year, and, put in an investment of that size to be used once a year for the fair, it really just doesn't really do it
I think
justice.
that field can be relocated.
Yeah, it can be relocated.
We can have like the 4-H prospect shows there, or they can have them indoors also, but they can have, some roping events, some barrel racing events. I know that there's a circuit that some of the local kids that participate in the junior high and high school rodeos, they go and compete in another areas. They can maybe add Zapata to their circuit, and then maybe have some events about.
I think the parking.
Yeah, the parking is gonna be an issue, but, the plans, do we have like, something that we can look at, what the the architect is looking at, so that we can maybe make some recommendations before adding this, maybe we can work with this and make sure that we have the restrooms and bleachers and all that.
Yeah, I'll have them, I'll set up a meeting and we'll give you like a workshop, or like for construction workshop. Is that?
Yeah, cause I don't think
Bring
there's any
over
plans
the
available, I haven't seen any plans.
No, they have some plans that they're working.
What they're looking at and what we're
We're
looking at
yes,
is
it's totally
maybe it's
different.
totally different, so we can be on the same page.
Okay.
Because Segunda, the people who get there is gonna get packed,
Yes, I think the bleachers is a.
Mandatory.
Is a must, because the ones we have there now, they need to be upgraded. They can't stay in the condition. The condition of them are sturdy and firm, but, they don't, if somebody is walking out and somebody's walking in, there's not enough
they
space.
have to make it handicap compliant.
Yeah, well, if we're getting funding, yes, that would need to be upgraded as Okay, so that one is just.
So maybe next meeting, Mr. Gonzalez, you can bring to court, some actual
Yes.
plans that we can see and see, what the architect's vision of that place.
Yeah, we'll bring some, and, we'll send them also for your reviews.
Okay,
Comments.
because I'm trying to picture it in my mind too, but,
Yeah.
We're proposing to make it a little smaller, well, to standard size. It's a little bit bigger than what most of the arenas are. That should save us a little bit of money, but, and then the framing for the corrals and the fencing, that's in good shape, but it is cemented in. So that's a little bit, that was a concern when we did a walkthrough, to be able to make those adjustments, so we maybe just adjust one side and leave the other, and then bring that one in, so that we can keep the.
It'd be nice if we can do corrals for the people that are, around the fence line to store their horse instead of having, them crossing the street with the horse back and forth, and then renting out that space to them
That-
with water and stuff.
For that kind, Commissioner, we would need, more space, but yeah, we did, cause I personally gone to go look at, the one in Sinton and the one in Wes's, and, I've seen some, photos from the one in Uvalde. They have the areas for, you can have the horse and you can have it for 2 days, while the rope, some of the ropings are last 2 days or, maybe
Correct.
longer. And, you can keep your animal there. Then you're going compete and then go put them back to rest. That's something that if the parking area that we're gonna be utilizing, maybe could be used for something like that. And across the street, so it is a county street. We may be able to consider, during events, we may, like we do for the fair, we close that
I don't
street.
think we have enough room for stables. No, we don't.
No, but on the Little League field, I'd like to see if we can do some hookups. A lot of people.
RV hookup.
Have their trailers where they keep their horses, and most of the events are.
I think the way our county fair, the parking, I think it'll be filled with just regular cars.
During the fair, yes.
Yeah.
They make a killing during, those RV spots that they rent out, with like $200, $300 a slot.
Yeah.
They make money there.
And so that's daily, so
But Commissioner, if we go that route, we're gonna have to find a place for that field. So if we decide to utilize that space.
we may be able to keep it in the area and move it maybe,
I think around the environmental department, there's land there along the highway that possibly could be enough space there, but I mean, the commissioner will have to.
You have land there, you also have land by the Miraflores area.
Yes.
Where we just, on the other side of.
On the park.
Yeah.
Yeah, across from the park.
Yeah, that could.
That you could have a Little League field there.
Yeah, that'd be nice too. So, yeah, and we can utilize all that equipment that's already there. All right, moving on to 31, to review status and take action on Zapata County Waterworks General Engineering Services for audit reports, sewer plant permits, et cetera.
Yes, on that one, Judge and Commissioner, we just wanted to give an update to the court, is that we prepared the 2024 water use survey, the 2024 water loss audit report, the water conservation annual report, water conservation utility profile, and the water conservation plan. We also worked on and submitted the Chihuahua sewer plant permit, the San Ignacio sewer plant permit, and the Zapata sewer plant permit. Those are some of the projects we've been working with the Waterworks Department on to make sure that we can keep the county in compliance. I didn't bring an invoice for those at this.
Well, that's great, yeah.
Thank you.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, I'll bring one, but I wanted.
Well, I didn't remain on top of it. We appreciate your firm, working with the Waterworks. I know they depend on your firm for many things, and he's always a phone call away, so thanks for that, and yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank
you.
But you're always there to help us out, so thank you.
Thank you. No action on that one, Commissioner. We'll table that one for next, I guess a motion for tabling on that one. Motion to table by
I'll
Commissioner,
second that motion.
Solis, second by Commissioner, Garza. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion tabled. Moving on to consent item 32, 33, and that's it. Motion to approve by Commissioner Morales. Second by Commissioner Moya. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. All right, Commissioner, we'll move on to the budget
Judge, just briefly before we get out of this, Judge, we have the Crime Stoppers contract that I reviewed, Judge. It does, however, require the court to make some type of budgetary commitment to them, Judge. So prior to it being adopted, there has to be that acknowledgement.
So that, we left that pending for your review?
Yeah, I reviewed it, Judge. I had already reviewed it prior to it because I was up there working on my budget. But what it is, Judge, if now that they've organized themselves and have the audits and stuff, we can also make that a condition to help fund the Crime Stoppers, condition of probationary type, so that will help bring in some income for them.
The county court would certainly contribute to that.
Right. So we could start.
So we need an amount, Commissioners. What would be a good amount to include in our budget?
I guess depending, I would think depending which route we're gonna go here, 25 would be a lot, but maybe.
$1,000?
Maybe start off with five.
$1,000? Oh, 5,000?
Start off with about 5 and then.
Whenever I address the court on these items.
Yes, yep, okay. Yeah, we'll go back to the budget, yes, Judge, you can come up.
No, on this item.
Oh, on this item, yes.
Okay.
Okay.
On the Crime Stoppers, what we normally do, and we haven't been doing it here in a while because there wasn't an active Crime Stoppers program. But we assess it is required to assess a $50 payment from every single criminal defendant who is placed on probation. So you'll assess it, and normally it requires them to pay that within the first 60 days of their probation, and that helps.
I think that's what we've been doing.
Right, we started doing it once they established it.
Yeah, so that will be taking place, yes.
So I didn't know it was already in effect.
Well, we started at the county level, the county court level.
Right, but we'll go ahead and start at the district court level as well. There's not a whole lot of cases, but whatever they get, you start them off with something.
Usually maybe 3 or 4.
Because usually
at least per month.
What the compensation that they get for the tips that they give also $400, $500, $300, $200. So everything helps to be able to get in there, and we'll definitely participate in that as well and require that as a payment for the criminal defendant.
Thank you.
So 5, Judge?
That will be included in the budget, I guess?
You would have to, Judge, because that is a requirement of.
Okay, as the action item, so let me go back to the item. So,
back in the other?
Yeah. So we'll go back to item number 26, that way we can make an official motion on it. To approve program contract between Zapata Crime Stoppers and Zapata County Commissioners Court with an amount not to exceed $25,000 as stated in section 351.901 of the local government code. So I need a motion.
Judge, I'll make a motion, the county will contribute $5,000.
Motion by Commissioner Solis to contribute $5,000 to the Crime Stoppers. And this year's budget, seconded by Commissioner Garza. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carries unanimously. So it'll be 5,000.
Yes, sir. And we'll continue on the county court case.
Okay. All right, Commissioners, we'll move on. I think, item number 8, Commissioner Gonzalez, we had skipped it, to certify the order for annual compensation for the county auditor, assistant auditors, and court reporters.
Yes, sir. Thanks, sir.
Commissioners, I'd like to address the court with regard to the court reporter on that one whenever you're ready.
Okay. Yeah. Judge, come on up, yes. Both of you can come up.
Commissioners, with regard to that, I know that we had the meeting and the public hearing with regard to the designation for both auditors and court reporters at the same time, which we routinely do. With regard to our court reporter, I'd like to be able to make an amendment to that due to a recent announcement from our court reporter that she was leaving. I'd like to reduce that compensation now to $8,000 instead of $842, which will also be hopefully reflected on our budget beforehand as well.
Okay.
As you know, part of her compensation gets paid from here, and most of it gets paid from Cook County, which it should be. So it would have been okay for me to. It would not have been okay for me to increase it, but it's okay for me to decrease it despite our our order for approving it. I'll go ahead and submit an amended order only with regard to the court orders over here, so you can have it filed.
That'll work? Yeah?
I think so. Thank you.
Okay.
$5,000 for the time.
Yes.
And, as far as the auditor's office, everything stayed the same?
Yes.
We have slot number one, Jim Gonzalez says $66,030. Slot number two, Deputy Auditor Roberta Mesa at $40,000. And slot number three, Deputy Auditor Luz Garcilaso at $32,912.
Very well.
Thank
Okay,
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And then we'll move on to deliberate and consider action on the following items. Number 9 is to adopt the Zapata County budget for fiscal year 2025-2026. Well, Commissioners, I know we discussed several ways of how we can move forward with our challenging budget. We do have the proposed budget changes that came with the initial budget hearing. We can vote on individually and then vote on the secondary proposals that came during the second hearing.
Were you able to get back from the?
I haven't heard, there's still.
And also, we can recess till this afternoon, maybe 3 o'clock or 4, and
I would say let's wait on that to
see if we can get more clarification.
Make a motion to recess this.
All right, motion to recess by Commissioner Solis. Okay,
I'm sorry, Commissioner, before you recess it, I know that there's things that y'all contemplating. I'm wondering if you need to actually have them on the record, the alternatives, or can I just give it to you all individually and then y'all can just propose it later on?
you can have them on the record. If you want, Judge, we can hear it, and that way, we can, Roxy can jot it down and we'll consider it.
I don't know if, you know, it's gonna be required or so, because it's, you know, there's, the way you all have options on the entire budget, if we have proposals, or I have proposals on our budget, depending on what it is that happens, so it's all contingent upon.
Well, then I can have them in front of me, and when we get to it, we'll,
Either way.
Either way, yeah, that'll be fine, that'll work.
Thank you.
Okay.
But if you all end up voting on, not going with the reduction, or the increase in premiums, and going with what seemed to be the first, the plan A,
Yeah.
if you will, which was the cut on those employees, which included the cut, I would like, request the court that instead of cutting slot number 2, they cut slot number 1 for my department, and that will allow me to do some
Okay.
other options if that's gonna be. Cause you have 2 slots, you have
Yes.
1 and 2. Last
I know,
in, I'm assuming that you were doing last in, first out.
Yeah.
So, number 2 would be the last one. All right, thank you.
Judge, and also one more for the record, Judge, if the court is inclined to make the reduction in employees across the board, as is one of the proposals, Judge, that would mean that one of my employees would now be moved to the SB 22 grant, Judge, and I would have to redistribute those funds. Will I come up with that budget? Should that option be adopted by the court? However, I would ask the court if for those employees that are now exclusively funded from SB 22, whether they can accumulate annual and a sick leave. But I would, if the court were inclined to do that for these SB 22 exclusively funded individuals, that I would also include a waiver for those individuals. Should they leave, they would not be able to cash out on a voluntary waiver. They would not be able to cash out on the accumulated hours should they leave employment. So that would be an incentive for the county to allow them to have that benefit while they're SB 22 funded employees. So
okay.
That's one option that I would
Okay,
should it
we'll
result.
take on all those options that, so we got a motion to recess, seconded by Commissioner Solis. We'll recess until 3 o'clock this afternoon, and that'll give us a couple hours before 5 to work this out. So, we'll recess until 3 o'clock. Thank you.